Good morning. Good morning. I'll probably say it another bunch of times, but that's okay. So, welcome to what is it? No, I know. Welcome to Mid Morning Medium Chat with Adam the Black Swamp Medium. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, you had a good week. Um, yeah, Saturday. Uh, Supposedly the temperatures are going to get a little bit warmer, so that's always encouraging, right? But that's okay. We don't mind, right? Oh, good morning, Debbie. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Um, yeah, let me get that official weather report, right? Well, it's going to be for my area. Oh, it dropped a couple degrees. It's only supposed to be 88 today. That's okay. I'll take it. So, the last couple of days, it kept saying it was going to be like 90s starting today through like next Tuesday and stuff. So I'm like, "Eeh." But that's all right. We're into the summer, right? It's supposed to be warm, especially this time of year, right? we got shouldn't be complaining about warm weather, right? Because I know a lot of people don't like the cold, so that's all right. I'm kind of in between. I still like, well, normal spring weather, if it was not jumping all over the place from, heat to cold, and even then in April, we had, snow. So yeah, you just never know. But it's the way it is, right? Uh, but yeah, like I said, hopefully everybody's having a good. Hey, good morning, Carrie. Hopefully everybody had a good week. I know there's some things about the week that I'm looking forward to sharing. Um, because there's probably some things that are relatable to some of you, or and even in the sense that that's the thing, is when I get to go through things, it's fun to share it, because there's always a possibility that you might be going through something similar, or you might just be kind of holding on to that knowledge for something down the road that may pop up for you, maybe not necessarily in the exact same way, but at least it gives you kind of an idea of how things work out there. Debbie, what do you think? I've been wearing winter socks. It's cool and damp here. Well, you know, I guess it could be worse. I mean, that's always the thing. You always have to try to spin it in a positive way. I mean, it always could be much worse. So if it's just cool and damp, hey, if it keeps your tootsies warm, then that's okay. Um, it, this, I think I talked about it last Saturday. It's hard. There's so many things that have gone on. So now you know, getting older, your memory does kind of fade, at least to some degree. But when you have a lot of things stacked up on you, you really do forget some stuff. So if I talked about a smidge of this, that I apologize. But good morning, Tina, and uh, so good morning, Sharon. I started working. I've been covering for my brother, who we work in the same. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. we um we work for the same same companies, in the same department, and he's on vacation, which is awesome for him. So he's I'm not gonna share what he's doing, where he's at, and all that stuff. That's his thing. So but he's been on vacation, so I've been filling in for him because I'm his backup for what we do. Good morning, Jill. And so I've been fortunate enough to be able to stay home and work, because right now that's the way it works. So Debbie. And I so I've been filling in. So basically a week from yesterday I started. So I did Friday, and then luckily, had a 3-day weekend. And then it's not as bad, but it's rough when doing this, which is a help desk position. We're funneling all the stuff. Now the good thing is, because of the pandemic, the phones aren't ringing as much. There isn't a ton of emails and instant messages that are happening constantly, which does a normal days of work. But yeah, so I mean, I was been filling in, and of course I'm nervous about that stuff, because I'm rusty. I really haven't done the help desk stuff since December, when my brother was using up the last of his vacation to finish out the year. So some of it's trying to remember how to do things, and once you get into the swing of it again, the memory helps to where you like, okay, I remember doing this and stuff. And so But yeah, it's been intense. I mean, there's been some stuff that we knew was going to pop up, and I didn't think it was going to be as much as it was. And there's a point to this, guy, so that's why just bear with me. Um, but there's just so much that was involved that it's like I started you know having anxiety and panic attacks, which I've talked about before, and so it was like I really gotta knock this out. And so what's interesting is if you guys, just in case you didn't see the Wednesday show with Debbie on our Beyond the Silence radio page, I talked about it there, so I thought it'd be fun to share it here, because again, this is just one of those other things that it's neat to for those that didn't see that show this week, and then give you guys sort of a like, oh, okay, nice, and again, that's why I try to do these. That's why I like when it's somewhat informal like this, because when it happens, it's not like something I got to plan to talk about down the road or on another episode. It's like I can hit you guys with it right away, so you can see it as it was pretty much right there. But you know so when I so what happened was is I started having the anxiety Thursday night the week before, and waking up, and I'm just I'm nervous, because it's like what if I forgot something, and what if I'm because I'm not supposed to reach out to my brother even though he said I could, but I didn't want to, obviously, because he is on vacation. So and so that's just one of those things. So I was trying not to, and luckily enough, it really was just me overthinking things and stuff like that. I mean, last Friday there, or a week ago Friday, there wasn't a whole lot that was happening, so it wasn't so bad. We did have a couple things that popped up, but I was very comfortable in how I had to handle it and things. So but that's just the way it is. But the thing is it was so intense, and for me, and again, I've talked about this, so I won't go deep into it, but my anxiety is always right in the center of my chest, like right there in the between it all. And it just feels like you're getting hit with a big sledgehammer, and when it's bad, it hurts, but like I said, it's right in the center. And as soon as I feel, I'm like, it's like you just kind of roll your eyes at going, here we go, I got to figure out how to use the stuff that I know how to get rid of it. And so, but I knew what it was, and I knew it was the work stuff. But it was so intense, then all of Friday. And then when I still woke up Saturday morning, it was still pretty bad. And like I said, I think I talked about it a little bit on that show last Saturday, because it was, intense, but I was hiding it, but I knew right afterwards I was going to focus on doing a release. And that was the whole thing. So, probably it was probably after lunch, because the show gets done about 10:30. And good morning, Jennifer. And I I knew I was doing it, and that was the thing. I was committed, and that's the big thing, is when you're dealing with things, you can't just go in there, kind of like, well, we'll see, and you guys know, you've heard me say it in the past, but I'm going to say it again, is that I don't like the word try. It to me, it's a bad word. And because in this line of work and things that you guys all want to get into, you really have to put your mind into it. And it sounds cliche, I get it, everybody said it, but really put yourself into that moment and say, I'm doing this, whatever it is. But for me, I knew, and especially certain people that are watching the show right now, definitely gave me that little extra poke to being like, just do it. Not that I didn't know it. Oh, good morning, Heather. And so knowing that, and I'm capable, but, and then you start thinking things out a little too much instead of just going for it. And so, but I was determined I was going to do it, and even if it just helped a little, then it's still a win for me. And that's the point. So, in the afternoon, last Saturday was my son's birthday. So it was, kind of in between some stuff, and everybody was kind of all over the house. So it was kind of a perfect moment for me to just kind of pretend like I was napping. And even though I wasn't, but it looked good. So if anybody walked through, they were like, oh, okay, we'll be quiet, Dad's sleeping. So, but I was kind of laid out on my couch, and basically I went through a thing, and I'm not going to get deep into it, but again, that's the point, is I was determined to beat this. I was determined to figure out, can I get rid of that aspect? Because again, I know it was the work stuff. It is from, in a way, and it's a powerful word, as trauma from, some situations doing help desk work in the past that I did. And it really did. I've never used the word that much, but I mean, the more I think about it, it really was. I mean, it's something that stuck around with me. And anytime I do that type of work, filling in like I am, it's just that intense, feelings that, all those memories come, keep flying back. And it's like, I hate that, and it's not fair. It's, I don't need that. What happened in the past is in the past, and I've learned from it. And now it's just getting it off my back. This is really what I needed to do. So I didn't know what I was really doing. Granted, doing the spiritual work that I do and my beliefs and things, I was confident, and you know, sometimes when you don't do something, you kind of it's nice to have a little bit of guidance at it, but I'm comfortable about all the all the support I get. Um and I knew that as long as I talk to all of them, they're gonna be right there doing what they need to do. And sure enough, so I went into my meditation and set the intentions of what I needed to do and what I wanted to have done. And, sure enough, I knew I was really in the zone because for me, I know when I start getting deep into meditation because I start to see a lot of I get to see my aura around me, because with my eyes shut, I can start to see all the colors and how our auras look and things. And, um, that's when I know I'm in a meditation. At least that's the way it seems, not that I'm not any other time, but when you start seeing all the colors and with your eyes shut and you're seeing them move around and changing and especially when certain colors show up a little bit more than others. I'm terrible with where I always have to look them up afterwards because I never memorize the colors and what parts they mean. But certain colors were showing up, that were stronger, and I knew, they're for a reason, Um, but so I'm seeing that, and then sure enough, I start seeing all my support, the creator and my guides and angels and um, a lot of others, and so everybody's coming forward to help me with this, and which is a beautiful thing. And like I said, they, because they knew that I meant what I was going to do. And so is that's the powerful thing about it. They knew I was serious and that's why they showed up, basically like an army. Everybody's just popping in there and so they went to work on what I asked and what I wanted done. And so it was neat was um, I'm watching this, even though it's kind of like, like me, like I look down, you see your chest and things, I'm just watching all this stuff happening and things are going on. And I won't get detailed into that, but it was just like it was beautiful. And even sometimes I kind of step away from myself to see this from a bigger perspective and just, floored by it. Cause again, I've never truly done anything like that. I mean, I've been with some people that have done stuff to others and I've just be able to be a little, be a helper to them. And so it was super cool to even step out and just see what's going on, just to help me, down the road, with possibly doing this for any of you. Now I got a little bit better understanding. I mean, again, knew a little bit from a conscious. So there you go. You gotta love when this say, guys, just right down in front of me, a small angel feather just fell in front of me. I kid you not. It's right there on my keyboard. So see, they're always looking out. And so that's the confirmation to you guys, with them, with that one dropping in front of me that they are there. And so that's cool. So got to relax a little bit. I don't want to get too emotional because I love when that happens. But got like I said, got everything done, got it off. And it was so cool because then when I finished the meditation and the release and everybody, backs away and fades, into the distance. And, I come back to myself and, like I said, imagine getting hit in the chest, whether it's a punch or feel like something just, slammed you in there. And then within, 15, 20 minutes, it's gone. I mean, it's gone. There's no feeling, there's no ill feelings, there's no pain. You don't, just all these emotions, that, you're this, you hate this and it sucks and everything's gone. There's just this complete peace about everything. And it's like, that's the thing that, when you go through these, whether somebody's helping you with it, me and so many others that do these type of things, but that's the coolest moments is to see, all the stuff you do, what you put into it and what you're getting out of it, then to realize, this is all possible. It is all possible and it can be done. And, it does start with you. Like I said, how many times have I told you guys? I mean, you know, you need help. I mean, you go and make it happen. I mean, if you're hurt, you deal with it. If yeah, all the different scenarios that are out there. Like I said, health is the easiest one. Is like, you're not feeling well, and it's not the normal. What do? You make an appointment with your doctor to find out what's going on. They run tests, and then they say, oh, you got to do this and take this to get better. So it's the same thing. So I mean, these things may be different because obviously you're not going to go to a doctor, dealing with certain things, especially like anxiety. I mean, yeah, they're going to heavily medicate you. I mean, that's always a common thing, but that doesn't always solve it. All that does is suppress it. So you're really not getting the peace. And like I thought, given that I knew and know how to deal with anxiety and stress and know how to get rid of it, but it's never gone away. And I was always told back then, once it was diagnosed that I had it because of the work I was doing, it's like, no, you'll always deal with this. And it's like interesting. And now, you know, knowing the people that I know and having close friends, other, practitioners and holistic and metaphysical. And, um, you know, it's great when you get to hang out with them because, our conversations are way different than say like somebody else, I mean, you know, our conversations are about all this stuff. And so it's super cool that then to be able to realize, no, you can be whatever, especially in my case, I was able to drop that. Now, doesn't mean that I don't have other stress, anxiety and other things that are going on for other aspects of my life, but I was able to get that big weight off my shoulder because, and that's the thing is, so I did that Saturday. Come Tuesday, when I got up to go back, to work again, I slept all the way up until my alarm, which typically when I do this help desk stuff, I'm waking up hours beforehand because I'm worried. And I slept up to my alarm, and it's been that way every day this week, and so I wake up not a care in the world other than, doing my job, but it just wasn't there. That weight was not there. It wasn't pulling me down. It wasn't I wasn't freaking out, and so that was amazing, to commit to it and do it. And then here it is. I've got that off my back and for good. Now there's some other things I'm going to have to do to make it happen, but that's okay. I can sit there and deal with that, and that's fine. But at least it's something that I was able to achieve. And like I said, it's possible. And even then, not knowing 100% what I was doing, but knowing the concept behind it it helped. And so I wouldn't, that's why I'm not giving a lot of details as to what was going on, because I don't want people just to try it. They've never done things like this before. Like I said, I have confidence in all my support systems and all my guides and all that stuff. So and that's the way it is. Oh, hello, Mary. I hope you have a great day too. Thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. I miss you. I've been wanting to write you all week, Mary, to be brutally honest with you. You've been on my mind all week. So I definitely want to hit you up later on. So hope you're doing well. Good morning, Ron. Yeah, Carrie. Carrie, absolutely. That's a perfect analogy. I like that. That's a thing. It makes so much sense. I mean, it truly is. You're literally peeling a layer at a time. And until you get all that off is, and you can find probably that ultimate true peace. Oh, good morning, Matt. How you doing, sir? But and then Debbie, that only treats the symptoms, not the problem. Yeah, and that's what I said. It's I'm you know you got to deal with it, and I think Carrie made it perfect. It's like you're just dealing one thing at a time until you finally get to the end. So that's the best part about it. But that's why I wanted to share it, and give you guys a little bit of insight. Like I said, I talked about it Wednesday on the Beyond the Silent show for a little bit because we had a guest on, but it fit perfectly about some of the things that our guest was talking about and doing for her clients. So, but interesting enough, and that's what's fun to segue this into. Um, you know, that's like a huge achievement, to be able to get some of that stuff off my back, and like I said, it's really cool. Oh, good morning, Sandy. Oh, thank you so much. And I think it was Wednesday, Thursday. I can't go into details because there's still a lot of stuff that's out there on the table and things, and I can't even say what area of my life this is representing. But this is the interesting thing. So, we're running on a high. And by the way, if you really think about it, a lot of this, and this is what segues perfectly into this next thing. Um, you know, the 2 weeks ago at this point, we had that sunflower blood moon, eclipse, and so there's a lot of things that, there's changes that you wanted to make and new opportunities, from those changes. So if you're dropping something that's weighing you down and negative, or maybe it's, you have to kind of, tell a friend or somebody, of that sort that, you just can't be around them anymore or whatever. So we're going through that. We still have another 5 days of the window that we're in. And I get a phone call, and it's weird is because when this person in particular calls me, which isn't very often, and it's very rare, when I get this call, it's always been not so good news. And which is interesting because, like I said, I'm running on this high of, doing great. I'm feeling positive. I mean, it's just kind of riding this wave. I'm like, even thinking about this whole transition we're in. And go figure that here it is, you can go from, a few minutes of feeling great and then get hit with some news that then, you feel like you're back at the bottom again. And, you know, I'm horrible, and it's to be, frankly honest, I'm horrible when big news, hits because it's one thing to have a little things here and there, you can handle most. But then when you have something really big drop on you, you're like, whoa, and you're, relying on what you've been doing for years and how you handle things. And so I'm usually one to be pretty quiet about stuff. Oh, good morning, Aaron. And I was really trying, to hold it together, but just like most people, you kind of lose your mind a little bit. Not, I didn't like lose my cool or anything, but it's like you see a little bit of frustration with the news, and you're just like, oh my gosh, uh, you know, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle this situation? What's so you're trying to, you got a logical mind that's like wanting to dive in and like figure this out. And then you got your spiritual mind that's just like, hold up a second, you're jumping too much, in this logical, stuff. Let's look at this a little bit differently. And so I'm trying to kind of balance, even with me kind of still pushing a little hard on the logical mind. And I'm like, you know, trying to, justify things and this and that. And then I'm like, but hold up, and it's this balance. And problem is some of the news has to, I'm not allowed to reveal a lot of it. So I'm having to keep quiet for reasons, because I don't want to get in trouble. But come on, man. And so, uh, I have a friend that I worded things a certain way to them to just kind of share it, but not share it. Like kind of like what I'm doing right now is to, give a little bit, but yeah, obviously not, say too much. But and of course, they start hitting me with the spiritual side of things, which is cool because a lot of it was there. But sometimes it is nice to kind of hear from somebody else like you in a way that they're able to kind of smack you harder with that spiritual wand type of thing. Being like, you really just take it easy, like I said, I wasn't losing my mind, and I'm laughing about it now because it is, it is good for me to kind of realize I've, a couple days now of it, I've been able to really kind of go from where I was panicking, a little bit to where it's like, I'm okay. There's really no major trouble. There's no major, everything's going to be fine. It's just a situation that, I'm going to have to deal with, in probably coming weeks or so, but it's okay. Nothing dramatic, but at the same time, I mean, it could be, we'll see. But like I said, it's, we all handle things, and I think you know, everybody has a range of emotions when they get hit with something. I mean, whether it's tragic news or, maybe, it's, geez, I mean, even good news, sometimes, it's just handling it all and learning to balance it all. And so, oh, sorry, I'm just catching up on what Aaron said. Yeah, there you go, Aaron. I like that. You know, you have to get misguided to take a step back to be guided to find your path. Whew, whew. I love that, Aaron. That's perfect. Absolutely. Um, appreciate that. And yeah, but that's the thing about it. You just um even for people like us that do this. Oh, good morning, Candace. Thank you. You even like I said, even us that we get those moments that you know we think we got it all understanding and oh hello Nicole and we still kind of have those moments where because obviously a lot of us we grew up certain ways and some of that is just sort of how we were taught and so now that we've realized where we're at in our lives and how we've opened up to bigger things, you still kind of have that old stuff kind of pop in there to where you're used to handling a certain way because that's how you see other people uh dealing with it and you still see that and then to realize there's better ways to do it and that's another one of those cliche things but from a spiritual standpoint or even religious there's certain ways to handle news of whether it's real good news or really bad news and but that's okay. It's okay. Uh, I'm okay. Again, a lot of times when I get things, I do like to kind of process it before I make anything. Oh, hello, Deb. Good to see you. Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing. Oh, good morning, Darlene. Mama D. But that's the neat thing, especially what's going on right now, because that's why mentioned that we're still in that window. We still have 5 more days left in this, post, eclipse that happened that was major, and there's all these changes. And so here it was, I dealt with a change that, I can I took the reins and made it happen and got a big weight off my back. And now, now I get hit with some, I took the other direction to where I got some bad news, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel. So no matter what, I am in a good position to where I'm gonna succeed through it and it's not a problem. But um, it's just always important to kind of show that we all go through things and I like when it does happen because then I can kind of share it. I know I can't share a lot of details, but eventually I will, and I'll be able to say, you remember that episode back in June? Remember when I talked about this? And I'm like, well, here's the details of it, and now you guys should really understand what was happening. So oh, good morning, Tanya. And yeah, so it's crazy. And you know that's why I'm laughing because it's silly to for me because I know better but like I said, you still have those moments where you kind of you forget and you do have to stop. And I could say, like I said, there was a good chunk that I was like, I knew better and I was leaning over and I'm like, okay, let's analyze this a little bit better. We know how to do this. So, yeah, but we're human, we make mistakes. We all know that. But it's the thing is, we push, to do what we know to do right and stuff. And it's like, oh, well, thanks, Deb. Appreciate that. Yeah. Like I said, it won't be too bad. I think the initial news was more harsh. But like I said, once I can kind of, I'll be able to start tackling it a little bit as we get into the week. And there's reasons for it, but, it's a good thing that it's not, on my back per se over the weekend. So, I mean, I'm completely fine, but it is what it is. Well, sorry, I'm laughing. I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. Hey, if it works, then that's all that matters. I gotta have fun. You guys know that. If I'm not smiling or making you guys smile, then I'm doing something wrong, because you guys wouldn't be hanging out with me if I was just this, monotone speaker. But then again, most of you that have ever known me or hung out with me know, I'm gonna, I do a lot to try to bring that positivity up, and whether it's corny jokes or mannerisms that I do, you know, you know, I'm going to do what I got to do. And even then, and Nicole just said, laughter is the best. It is, you know, and it's not, and the good thing is I'm not hiding behind it either, because there's a lot of that. And I think we've all seen those situations, whether with somebody we know or just something we've seen, you know, out in the world. But, um, we've all dealt with, you know, that'll hide behind stuff, and that's not it. You know, if I was struggling, I probably wouldn't have, you know, I probably wouldn't be laughing, because I really never hide behind laughs. I mean, I hide information where I'll suppress it, you know, for the time being, because I don't want to dump something negative on any of you. And so there's times where, yeah, I'll kind of block it. And, you know, it's not the best thing to do, but at the same time, I don't want to sit there and make any of you, you know, it doesn't mean that I don't need and ask for support and love from all of you. But at the same time, you know, I want to make sure that, you know, I make sure you guys feel good and stuff. And that's because, again, that's that helping side of me, that empathic side that just wants to make you guys smile and get through your days and weeks and stuff. So, but you know, it's how it is. And so, I do, you know, like I said, anybody that's ever known me or hung out with me in person knows that, um, it's probably not going to be, or it would be rare for me not to be smiling and laughing and having a good time, because, um, again, it doesn't take much. And even if you've never met me, you know, it'll be a little serious at first, but then you'll notice, because if you hang out with me for a little bit longer, that the I get a little bit more relaxed, because then I know that, you know, because once I get a chance to kind of understand your energy, especially when I don't know you, it'll hit me when the right moment happens, and then those little corny jokes start popping in there, and then I could see your energy then start skyrocketing, you know, upwards. So, and then I know, then I got you. So, but um, let's see. I missed a few comments. Day at a time, positive protective resilience is key. Your vibe is warm. Love yourself. Oh my God, that's awesome, Aaron. I love that. Jen, and when you feel your anxiety is triggered, it's hard to see things from the higher perspective until someone else presents it. We all do this. Yes, we do, Jen. Oh, Rodney, how you doing, buddy? Got back from Marquette. Hopefully it was a good time. Yep, Candace, emotions make us human. Big time. Ooh, 7 waterfalls. Ooh. Did you I'm trying to remember, did you post some of that? Or maybe you have, or maybe you haven't yet, but I know sometimes you do. Um, so, well, that's cool, man. I hope you enjoyed that, because I know, see, Rodney is one of those guys, gang, that, you know, he's really, you know, he's taken things I've said, like, get yourself outside more. And he's really done it. And that's one cool thing. Rodney's really had a huge change in his life. The more he's been outside and he's going and doing nature things, he's walking. And I catch some of them because of the algorithm. I don't always see all of them, but I catch some of them, and I can see, and it's perfect, because he'll be out somewhere in nature, and he'll just film. And even then, doesn't even have to be anything spectacular. You know, he's done it where he's been in fields and just kind of filmed the fields. And it's like, that's that's just as good as, running water fills and stuff, but just to be able to walk, he's walking through fields, and you just get the shot of openness and things. And that just is crazy cool. So, super happy for Rodney, and where he's, gone, and how much he's really immersed himself back out into nature. And he's really, like I said, I talk to him, here and there, as much as I can. And it's neat to see, where he's been and where he's going, and it's kind of refreshing. And like I said, it works. And I know he could say it, he can see a huge difference in being out there a little bit more and letting go, opening yourself up to it, and just seeing where we all truly came from, how much connectedness that you get when you're outside. And it seems simple, but that's the thing, is when you truly immerse yourself in it, as I've said this a ton of times, when you immerse yourself and you let go and you're open to it, then you really get to experience and feel it in a different way. So always get yourselves out there, even if it's just sitting on a porch or on a back deck or whatever the case is. Just sitting there, and if you need to, if there's a lot of noise, maybe put some headphones on, put some soft, relaxing music on there, and really, block out that, the common city noise if you need to, but But if you can get yourself to a park, even if you got to walk just into the park a little bit, maybe there's some woods or whatever, or maybe there's some stream, and just find a bench. They put benches out there for a reason. You know, get it, sit on one of those benches. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be that far off the parking lot. So, but do it. And like right now, we're getting into summer, so I mean, the weather might be a little bit warm, but go early in the morning, maybe go in the evening when it's cooling off and stuff. And like I say, you do it, you're gonna see changes. So definitely, it's really cool to see, Rodney and his stuff. So, good for him. Good morning, Margaret. Yep. And Candace, nature also helps with your perspective. And we're here. Yep. Yep. There is um there is so many beautiful things about that. And that's why when I say you really are letting go of everything that's on you, but then at the same time opening up to what nature has to offer to you, it just changes everything. you know and that's the thing too, is take your shoes off, put your feet in on the ground, walk in the grass, do some grounding. I mean, is what it really is. Another thing that we used to do a lot of, and that's even more. I mean, you can put yourself in touch with the earth in some way, whether it's the dirt or the grass. I've been this cool thing is me working from home, which I still have Monday and Tuesday before I go back to the back on site again. But being able to, I've been walking barefoot constantly, because normally at work you got to wear shoes. And so, but I've been able to stay barefoot pretty much the whole time. Yesterday, I had to cut my brother's lawn, and it was the first time I put shoes on since the previous week. So it's like, that's pretty cool. I almost was going to slip a bad word in there, but I, because it's true too. But yeah, but that's what's so neat, is to be able to really get in touch with it. And like I said, I will never get tired of telling you guys that. You guys might get tired of me saying it, but maybe maybe I'll beat it in your head so much that you'll finally, if you're not doing it, you will do it, and you'll be like, okay, what is he talking about? I'm just going to go out there and do it. And that's the key. You said, I'm going to go do it. I'm not going to try it. I'm going to go do it. That is the right word. Yep. And Candace, you have a amazing, backyard, and the things you get to see. You got a little bit of everything, behind you, in some regards. So that's so cool. And Debbie, she's 4 blocks from the beach and 2 from the yeah. Another great thing. I mean, oceans are awesome, in things of that sort. And man, it's so cool. Oh, love that stuff. Thanks, Mama D. Well, I can, that's the thing is, the more you get to know me and the more comfortable it is. Yeah. I'm that's pretty common. You'll hear something come out of me. And, luckily it's not done in negative ways. It's just kind of vocabulary, but that's something I may have talked about this once before, but see, I'm like, one time I was thinking about this, and maybe it's an interesting thing, and maybe some of you agree with me, maybe you don't. It's fine. But speaking of cussing, and swear words and things, and I think it's fascinating that, and like I said, I know I've talked about it. I just don't know if it's been on the show or not. But I always look at it. It's like, whether you swear or you don't, hey, that's all good. I think it's fascinating that even then we put such a negative spin on swear words, but for what reason? I've always asked this of people, who was it that just finally said, this word is bad and that word is bad, but then why isn't other words bad? Just something to think about. I mean, if you go back to like the whole thing of bullying and things, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me. So I look at it like that, as here it is. Where, when I remember growing up, that was always the thing, if you get picked on, which some of us have, it still hurts. But that's the thing is, Why did we make certain words horrible? I mean, some of them mean other things, legit things, but I've always wanted to know who in history just said, "Nope, that's a bad word." I've always wanted to know it. I really have. And so, I mean and like I get it. I mean, we are where we are, and it's still fun to think about and for me, laugh hysterically over it. But I'm like, you know, is it really that bad? I mean, but that's the thing is we grew up and that's all we ever known. And so we are trained into thinking that bad words are bad words, and that's it, and but oh, Sandy, if I missed you, have a good one today. Um, Carrie, swear like I said, I like that. That's true. That is true. It is just, because if you really think about it, you really can certain words really can add to it, not necessarily in a negative way, especially depending on what your conversation is about. Obviously, if you're upset and things are, really bad, well, sure, it does have a negative effect to it. But I remember, and some of you guys might know who this is, and there's a video out there, and um, maybe I could find it and tag it to my page one time, but it's and there was a famous guru. His name is Osho, and I think some of you might have heard of him before, but he was, I didn't know him until after he, passed away, but because I had a buddy of mine, share, him with him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and so would watch some of his videotaped, um, uh, gatherings and things like that, and the one time he, you're thinking, okay, here's this, very heavily spiritual guy, everything he says is just spot on. I mean, like if you really sit and listen to some of his stuff, or read his, I think he's got books of them. It's been a while since I've really, but the point is, he's got this one video out there that is hilarious, and you could hear the crowd reacting because the camera's so close on him. But he talks about the F word, and he he said it's one of the most universal words out there because of how you can use it within a sentence, and he does it. And so, if the F word doesn't bother you guys, you could just put Osho, and it should be OSHO, and then just put the F word like in YouTube, and I mean, it's not that long of a video, but it is hilarious. I mean, but he's spot on with it. I mean, it's so true, but and but for him to be like a guru type of guy, and then just hearing him say it, I'm like, whoa. But that's because you're not thinking somebody that's like him, basically, really has a brilliant mind, a great, way of thinking and seeing things. And but to hear him saying it just like blows your mind. It's one thing to think like us that, but it just, again, it's because it's just a word, you know what I mean? And so I just always thought it was hilarious that's just the way I've interpreted things. And then, and it took a while because I think I wasn't till maybe even after high school or something like that that I pondered it one time. And this was just like sort of those early stages of, trying looking into spirituality and things. And it's so um like I said, it's comical to some regards, but I get it. We are and it's not going to be easy, but if you're one to swear, that's okay. And if you don't like swearing, that's okay too. There's nothing wrong in that. I mean, I do, most people that know me know I do, and there's a lot of things that'll slip out and sometimes, it's just part of the way it is. And but that's okay. Like I said, it's okay. And Carrie, yeah, see? Yep. Everything. I love that. Oh, okay, cool, Margaret. I'll have to see it if that's I'll have to catch it and see if it's out there. I don't know if I've seen his. Maybe I have. I bet you if I see it for a couple minutes of it, I might know it, but that's interesting, yeah. So, but it's so yeah, it's interesting, but us humans, all these weird things that we do and say. Um so gosh, um I'm trying to think. Those are some of the majors. I almost thought that I was going to be talking all the way up until 10:30, but we still got about 15 minutes left. That's okay. Oh, awesome, Rodney. We do too, buddy. Um, but uh, so I'm trying to think, you know, kind of, in a way, kind of back up a hair just so that way, um, and maybe help those that might still be a little confused, and some of the things I talked about this morning, you know, eh, there's always a point to it, and I've already said it, is that you always be aware of things and be on the lookout for stuff, because you never know, when something is going to happen and stuff, and uh, you know, again, you know, it's interesting that you could be riding, high in a plane and then, be crashing and burning and you have to realize that obviously it's never the end. You've heard everybody always say that it's never the end, and you uh you just have you just have to go with it. You have to ride with it, and you have to figure out what you're supposed to do slash learn from it, because obviously it's helping. I know Aaron was kind of talking about that earlier, and that she that sometimes you have to, like I think she said, take a step back before you can then get back on the right path. And it's true. I mean, I never say a step back. I mean, but I do use stairs as a thing, but I always say if you're on your path, you're going to have twists and turns. You're going to have bumps in the road, and these are obstacles and things that you have to figure out how to get around to make sure you still stay on your path, because God forbid you fall off the path, because that's even more bizarre. But the idea is to stay on it so that way you can, um, you know, learn from it. But it's going to help you at some point in your life down the road too. So, oh, Mama D put. So if you guys are looking for that video, Mama D put it in the comment section. So you could just go and highlight that, and then after the show, you guys can check a look at that. That's a good word. Well, that's a good one. Check a look at that, guys. How about that? There's the new word of the day. Check a look. Oh my God, that was a bad one. I've never said that before. Look how red I'm getting too. I'm gonna write that one down. Check a look. I'm gonna start using it. So if you guys ever hear me say check a look, you guys will be like, "Oh, I know what he's talking about." Wow, that one really got me. See, it's really good to laugh at yourselves. Oh my boy! Wow. Okay, well, so thank you, thank you, Mama D, for putting that in there. So, ay, ay, ay. So, hey, Don. Well, we all say things that just kind of blurt out, and that was a good one. Oh my God! Yes. Okay. Oh well, thanks, Debbie. But the beard thing, uh, the wizard stuff. Yeah, Deb, that's a perfect way, perfect, way you look at it. I mean, some people do. Some you have to kind of go. You have to get away, or you have to, really isolate yourselves and get away from a lot of the distractions that can be, can hinder. I mean, we are human in that aspect, to where distractions make it horrible for a lot of the work that we all do. We know it. We live it every day. And it's I always tell people, if clients want a reading, or they want a healing, or whatever the case is, it's like, if I'm not feeling it, because I don't feel well and stuff, like, I don't want to sit there and be not provide, giving 110% type of thing. So sometimes, you do have to kind of go back and figure things out, slow down, and then move back into, doing whatever you're going to do, whether it's for yourself, whether it's for others. So absolutely. Okay. And then let's see. We'll be thanks, Debbie. It could be check a look will be a good one. Margaret just put the George Carlin version of the F word. So you guys can again highlight that one and watch that later on as well. So I will be watching that back. I will definitely check that one out. So yeah. Oh my God. I got so lost from check a look that I forgot where I was going. But see? My God. That is gonna be on my mind all day long. Right, right. That's awesome, Deb. Yeah, love that. Love it. Oh, thanks, Nicole. Well, like I said, it's been a hell of a roller coaster this week. In some some regards, was flying high and then I was flying low, and now I feel like I'm kind of, you know, when I was low, I was obviously, it wasn't so good, and then like today, I'm really feeling pretty good about stuff. I mean, uh, definitely a lot more. Yeah, like I said, I knew I'd get, I we all can get through stuff, you know what I mean? And so just for me, it was just stopping and thinking, relaxing, and had a close friend, give me a little, slap with the spiritual wand, and like I said, I love using that one too now. But just kind of like, hey, ding, ding, okay, remember. so you do have to, stop and smell the roses, so to speak. Oh, okay, Margaret. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, well, that's still gonna be fun to hear it all. Awesome, awesome. But yeah, uh, but like I said, the point is too, and Carrie, I think asked a question. Yeah, Carrie, I didn't forget your question, so I'm gonna get to that in just a second. Um, but yeah, the main thing is, be observant, because like I've talked about that, you have to be, if you go down this, this path and things, and regardless, we all have a path that we're on. But it's just being aware of everything. You are going to have, you're going to have good times, you're going to have bad times, and the bad times are always, a lesson, something you can learn from. And you know you just have to recognize it. And like I said, seems simple. It's, okay, yeah, but that's the thing is, it's going to happen. You don't know, some of them you don't know when they're going to happen. Like I did, like a phone call, Thursday morning was just like, woo, that came out of nowhere, and you deal with it. And like I'm still dealing with it, but I'm in a better position than I was that morning, and I've, really thought tons of, and so I'm doing pretty good. And like I said, it'll work out. And it's, when I can share the finer details, I will. And like I said, I will bring this show back up to you guys, and you will understand at that point, because I'll even make sure I put it in in the description of like, remember that show, remember the check a, you check a look, so oh man. But yeah, so it's cool. So but I'm feeling good. I guess in a way I kind of, and it's definitely not the caffeine, but I definitely feel like, I'm on a energy high, because I think knowing what I know, and getting reminders that, I think that's how I can, keep moving forward, and I can kind of, I'm out of it, and I'm pushing that positive stuff back. And and it's also thanks to you guys, you guys that, show up in these mornings. I know it's early for some, and uh it's like I said, this was meant to just kind of hang out in the morning, like, we're sitting around a breakfast table, and we're just kind of talking. And for me, I'm the one doing the talking, but you guys commenting, just makes the word, means the world to me. And so to know, the things that happen. And and I guess it's kind of interesting, because you kind of look that, like, there were years ago, YouTubers would do vlogs and things like that, and they would show their daily lives and how, whatever ways they are. And here, this is more of like a live version of it, where it's just all kind of done in one moment, which, technically you guys can watch it back, so it is kind of like watching a video. But or it's, I take the audio version of this and I dump it down into, podcast form. So but yeah, I mean, but I I just want people to know that, you're never alone, especially if you go through these things. And that's why I love doing these morning shows, because there's so much that I might be going through that maybe you've gone through, or maybe you might have it, happen at some point, or or a version of it. So, it's good that, I can sit there and present some stuff and make you guys, kind of remember it. Maybe you've seen it, or just know that, if you go through situations, good or bad, there's you're not alone. You're never alone. I think anybody here, and I've said it in the past too, anybody here uh would be willing to, send anybody, that's watching, even on, later on playback or in the podcast, form. But anybody's willing to, send some love and support, even if they don't know you. And that's what's special. A lot of you, have amazing hearts, and your intentions are amazing. And so it's, there's a reason you guys are here, and so, um, I'm the one just, talking on a microphone and looking all wizard like Deb said. So, I, I don't know if I'm that wise, but I'd like to think I am. So, but but it's just kind of fun, to be able to, um, you know, point out the things that are there and know that you're never alone in all this stuff, and anybody that feels like they're alone, you're not. You just need to sit there and reach out to any one of us. And like I said, there's so many of us watching still, and that would be willing to jump in, and just talk. If that's all it takes, a few messages back and forth, because sometimes that just does wonders. So, uh, uh, like I said, even if I'm not the right person that you want to talk to, and that's okay too. You're not going to hurt my feelings. But if there's somebody else, I said, there's so many cool people that, I'm looking over. Deb does amazing work, and I've known her for a while, and she's helped tons and tons of people, and because I can scroll through and just find so many people that this is what they do, this is their life, this is how they go about their days. And so, like I said, there's so many of you watching that do amazing work, and so it's just a blessing that I get to know you all and hang out with you when we can, and even then, just to be able to share some messages once in a while and just check up on each other, you know what I mean? And um it's just so cool. And I love this. I love the community that we're all in, and how we all are really there for each other, and Deb just said it there. We're here to help and share, and that's it, and so, um, yeah, Margaret, everyone adds a dimension to the whole experience. Absolutely. you know, Jen's another one of my special friends that she does amazing work. I've had a session with her. And so, like I said, there's just so many of you that are in there, and some I don't know that well, and things, but, doesn't mean that I won't, get a chance to talk to some of you and get to know you guys a little bit better. And, but that's like I said, that's what's cool is we're able to reach out and do things. Hey, good morning, Phil. Hope you're doing good, man. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and, yeah, so, Carrie wrote earlier, she wanted to know about like what's coming up for me. The obviously a lot of events and things have been, kind of happening and blowing up. And so, uh, the couple of things that I can think of off the top of my head. So as far as special event wise for me, nothing in the short term. However, I am being a part of some paranormal stuff for 2 days in a row in a few weeks. You guys know, and I've talked about Christopher St. Booth a ton, especially working, on his new movie with him. And so he's a real close friend of mine, and just love that guy to pieces. And so, I'm going to be helping out with him on the 18th and 19th of June, all in Winchester, Indiana. There's the Stone Mansion investigation on Friday, the 18th, and then Randolph County on Saturday. If you guys are interested, you can go over to Christopher's page and still see if there's tickets available. I don't remember Stone Mansion if that was yet, but I think Randolph still had a few tickets left. So if you're interested in the paranormal and investigating, and like I said, I'll be there helping out with those, with his brother, Phil and Christopher. And so, I know, that's going to be amazing. I've never done the Stone Mansion, but I have done Randolph once before. So it'll be great to get back there. So that's the one thing I can think of off the top of my head that's more event wise. But again, I'll be there. So, if you want to come hang out, and there'll be opportunities to investigate. So I'll definitely investigate next to you. That's for sure. And other than that, I've got there's some show. Well, I know tomorrow I'm doing a podcast for a gentleman, but I don't know when that'll come out. But when it does, I'll definitely share that with you guys. So I'm going to be doing a podcast tomorrow afternoon, as a guest. But like I said, I'll let you know when that comes out. And then, down the road. So there's a few things I know I can't make it to. I know obviously people are pushing for, well, I shouldn't say pushing, obviously that more than likely will happen is, Michigan Paracon, still one of those big events that has eluded me for many years. And, I was hesitant this year because, I just didn't know what the pandemic, even though they were pushing it. And so I don't think uh, I'm I'm gonna make. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Just because I just didn't jump on anything quick enough because I was nervous. I said, and I'm one to like hold back a little bit and not always go last minute, but it's just kind of one of those things. Anyway, um, I probably won't be doing that. There's another show I'll be doing a lot of flute stuff for. That's in August, but I'd have to get you dates. There is one event that is still holding. It's Michigan or Mid Michigan Paracon. That's usually in Flint. That's the first Sunday of November, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll be so Debbie and I, will be speaking together, and we'll have a table, so we'll be doing readings there. So that's the first Sunday, and that's in first Sunday of November. So if you go to Mid Michigan Paracon, you can find all the details there, and even getting your tickets for that. The following weekend, we haven't finalized the lineup, but we should be. Everything's on track. Again, we just have to finalize speakers and things, but more than likely, the Old Mill Parafestival, it will be back in person again. Again, still a lot of details. Like I said, we know who we want to try to get, and obviously we got to get contracts signed and stuff like that. So I can't say who or even hint at anybody. So at least we're working on that. So that should hold. So at least we can finally be back in person for that one. We're obviously by that point, we really think that things will be opened up and we can have a larger crowds again. So we are, hey Ariel, and so that should be cool. So that should be happening, and obviously I'll be there doing MC work and stuff. So that'll be cool. Like that's the second Saturday in November. But you just watch our pages. I'll be posting about it. Our Swippy page, the Old Mill Parafest page. All that stuff will be there once everything gets finalized and stuff like that. But for now, just chill. Other than that, I again still being a little cautious about certain things. I do want to get back to Michelle. I do want to get back to some more holistic stuff. There's a couple that I'm missing out on because of the fact I have other obligations to handle. So kind of bummed because there was a couple of them I really wanted to get to, even if, it was just being able to show up to support, a lot of my other friends that'll have tables and stuff. But so there's some of those. I'd still want to get back to some more holistic fairs because those are, so much fun. The energy is always off the walls, for those, anybody that ever goes to those, you know what I'm talking about, especially from our perspective. But let me see what else I missed because I know we are now out of time. Let's see. Oh, thanks, Mama D. I saw you were saying that. I appreciate that. That's awesome. You are the wizard light that attracts like-minded people like months to a flame, but with only good consequences. I like that. Appreciate that. Phil, that's cool. Yeah, July 31st. Yeah, that'll be really cool, man. Yeah, if you haven't done it, yeah, you're in for a treat for that one. So I'll definitely let you know how it was, after a couple weeks from now. So hit me up for that one. Debbie, I gotta double check my schedule for the Lamp Mansion. I don't know. I certainly can, but I don't remember what's going on. Like I said, I believe that's a weekend that I have family coming in. So it might not be I don't know. I got family that comes in every year, usually in July sometime for a couple of weeks. So there's always some weekends that are tied up, and family's family. So I got to make sure I'm supporting my family. It's the way it goes. And I don't have a problem with that. So yeah, there's sometimes I got to miss things because of, other obligations. Let's see. Cool, Margaret. All right. Awesome. Carrie. Yep. Cool. Hey, Rhonda, how you doing? But yeah, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm a few minutes past, and I know you guys want to get about your day, and I'm going to chill for a few more minutes after I get off air and pack up and get the show dumped over to the podcast area. And then I want to go do some yard work. I'm trying to do that before the heat, the hottest part of the day is. So I want to get that done before lunch. So hopefully by 11 o'clock or so, my time, I'll be able to get out there and get it done. because I got to get it done, But other than that, gosh, as I always say, guys, it means so much for you guys to hang out these Saturdays with me. And, you know, I think this was a fun show, and you guys have been great, lots of great comments and just seeing all of you in the mornings. It's so amazing. And, you guys are awesome. And, just, always so cool. Even if I don't know you that well, I mean, I appreciate it, and it's just so cool to get together, and share what we can do. And, we all got cool little, things that we can add to everything, what's going on, or relate to something like I've talked about today. So, yes. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh, have a great day, Debbie, Rhonda, Nicole. And, yeah, we'll be back again. I don't just looking ahead there at this point in time, we're in good shape. I don't think so right now, the next possibility of anything being weird about a Saturday morning show would be the 26th, I think. So in like 3 weeks, I think that's the only, maybe I might do the show. I might bump it up just a hair, but it's another one of those that I have to kind of be watching out for my son and stuff. But the one day that we did do it, it worked out pretty good, even though he came down here and was hanging out, walking behind the green screen. And so, which is cool. So there's a good chance on one of those. I'm trying to get a few other things planned out for you guys as well. So, live reading shows. With the job I'm doing, I've just kind of like not been able to focus a whole lot because I wanted to make sure that, I was sane enough to get things done. So, so definitely, I know it sounds like a broken record. I keep talking about it as much, but yes, it is happening. I just now got to figure out some, a day to schedule it and try to continue with it. To where I can do it at least once a month, if not maybe two. But I'm going to start with one a month, just like this show used to be every other week. But I want to at least get, one live reading show, a month at the start. So that way I can get rolling at it. Cause I know I want to get back into doing that. And I think it's always so much fun to do that for everybody. But other than that, the show should be fine. Even the 19th, where I'm going to be out of town, I'm still going to do it from my hotel room. So there still will be a show on the 19th. I may be a little tired, but that's nothing new. I mean, I do the old mill the night before on Fridays and wake up to do these shows. So I'll be good. But yes, it'll be sweet. Let's see. What did I? Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll figure that out. We'll schedule it out, and you guys will know well in advance, so that way you guys can all be there, and that'll be cool. So, yep, Ariel. Like I said, we'll get this scheduled, and like I said, give me, let's see, hopefully maybe by next weekend I'll be able to have a date. It might be during the week, unless I feel like I can do it on a Sunday. We'll see. But mostly it might be a weekday evening at some point, but let's do it. We'll tackle that. And like I said, now I'm going to go outside and get some yard work done and stuff, but keep watching my page. That's all I can ever tell you guys. I mean, sometimes the algorithms don't always pop up. So, maybe, once a week, or you guys know, I do the shows on Saturday mornings. You can always just, get over to the Black Swamp Medium page and then see, if I posted anything. Cause I try to get a post or, pop a meme in there or something like that during the week, keep you guys up to date on some things or something cool that I found or saw. But yep, keep watching the pages so that way you guys know when things are happening. And like I said, you'll get plenty of notice. Plus, I can broadcast or put these shows up no more than 7 days ahead of time, but I'll at least post saying, hey, maybe in 2 weeks there's going to be a reading show, and then when I get within the week, I can then post it so that way you guys can do a reminder on the actual page. So whenever you see these pop up, you just hit get reminded, and that way it'll pop up in your notifications, and then you can just be able to click on it and it'll pop you into the show. So cool. All right, so keep watching. Appreciate you guys. Love you so much. It's so cool to see all of you, and hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday and weekend. I'll be back. We'll be catching up with each other as we always do. And with that being said, you guys have been watching Adam the Black Swamp Medium doing the mid-morning medium chat show. Again, thank you so much. All my love, light, and peace to each and every single one of you. You take care.